You know, this is a real little way that I like to rig a fluke, especially when fishing in open water. Not really a round cover, but whenever I'm fishing, you know, a lot of times up north for smallmouth, or when fish are schooling, when I'm not really fishing around a lot of heavy cover. And it's really a pretty neat way to rig it. And I use a rivet. Now, this is how a standard rivet comes, with the pin through the center. And you have to knock this pin out. Now, what I do is I use the pin to help, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of use this to sleeve this Zoom Super Fluke. So I take the pin and I run it right through the head of the fluke. And as you can see, I've made a little channel right there. You can see it comes out into the belly of the fluke where it splits. And I kind of want to run that through there 3 or 4 times just to kind of open up a channel in that plastic. Then I'll take my rivet and I'll kind of push that in, that channel that I've just created with the pin that I knocked out of that rivet. But as you can see now, that rivet's gone all the way through that fluke. So I've made a little channel or a tube. The next thing I do is I take my line and I run it through that channel, just like so. And sometimes you got to spread it apart. As you can see, the line start to come back out through the fluke. And then here I've got a 4/0 VMC treble hook with a split ring, and I tie my line to the split ring, just like so. Cut the tag end off my line, and then I'll pull that back up and through. And then what I'll do is I'll kind of hide that split ring, and I'll insert one point into the split belly of that fluke. And when you get it rigged, that's what it looks like right there. You've got these hooks, I just kind of use one hook to stick it up in the belly. You can throw that fluke out, fish it real fast. When the fish comes up and roll on it, just all you got to do is pull into the fish. And it doesn't affect the action. It actually gives you a little weight to where you can cast it farther. You can actually let that bait get down. You can twitch it along the top. This is a great way whenever you're fishing around schooling fish, or you're getting fish to come out of real deep water. You won't miss very many fish with this bait because of that treble hook. But it's a real simple tip, using a rivet and a treble hook, and it makes a very efficient way of catching bass, especially schooling bass or any type of bass whenever you're fishing in open water with a fluke.